Alrighty, hey everyone, welcome back. So happy Monday. Today was obviously a non-trading day because the holiday for Martin Luther King Jr. here, so not much going on as far as news is concerned. Bitcoin obviously is down from the weekend. I think it's mainly because of the Trump fears on tariffs on European countries because he wants Greenland and they're not playing nice with him, so he's going to possibly raise tariffs on him. All right, so we got that going on, so that's kind of what's causing the markets to go down as well. I think overnight hours right now, the miners are in the red, about 3-4%. Some of those guys, some are a little bit higher as well. After that, we're going to get into what Bitcoin has been going on right now over the weekend and on Monday as well. We'll take a look at how the miners have performed last week against Bitcoin as well. And then after that, we're going to take a look at the market caps, multiple of their revenues. And it's actually kind of surprising results there. There's possibly some good news for some of these companies that are way, way lower valued. And there might be an actually nice upside there as well. So we'll get into that. We have some other good news stories as well. One, I think, actually. And yeah, we'll get into everything else, Q&A at the end. So thank you so much for coming in. As always, non-financial advice for Tim only. Do your own research, full disclosure. Below that, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out. And let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin's obviously having a bit of a correction here right now happening in the market. We can see that we started to fall basically on Thursday of last week. We were down 1.41%. Friday, we were down just a little bit, 0.09%. Saturday, we were down 0.41%. Sunday, we were down 1.55%. Today, we were down also 1.14%. And on the new day, we're down just a little bit, 0.16 right now. So Bitcoin right now is at, $92,400 roughly, give or take a little bit. Overall, we've seen a pretty sizable correction here happening right now. As you can see, the RSI on it on Wednesday got to pretty much 70 there, so it's looking a little bit overbought, right at the line there, right? And then we've been falling down here. The good news is RSI is about the same spot where it was at the bottom here, where we bottomed out. This was on Saturday the 10th, and price is actually higher from that point as well. We're at 92,000. We were at roughly 90,000 at that point, so we do have a little 2,000 upside here, with the RSI being the same. That's a good sign. Nice healthy pullback, I think, here before we continue to rally up higher. But right now, we're just freaking out over the tariffs again. It's tariffs giveth and tariffs taketh away as well. So we got to wait for that to play out, see how that's going to affect the markets and everything else tomorrow when they do open up. But right now, things are, I mean, yeah, we're looking pretty good here on the 1 hour chart, even I would say. It looks like we kind of bottomed out here. 4 hour chart as well. We're getting close to that bottom there on it. So looking pretty good here. If we look at the weekly chart, RSI has been slowly increasing here as the price has also been increasing as well. That's a good sign there for me. Okay, miners here in the after hours right now, since they didn't trade today. We got BitDeer being down 5.81% here. Bitfarms is down 3.39%. We got Kango being up actually 1.42%. Cypher is down 3.78. Cleanspark is down 3.52. We got Core being down 2.59. Hive being down just 4.32%. Then we got Hut 8 being down 3.76. IREN here being down 3.65. Mora being down 3.26. And Riot's down 3.04%. And TeraWolf is down 3.47 after hours, overnight hours, pre-hours, whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of what we're dealing here with, at least right now. So it might be a good buying opportunity if you haven't bought in recently and you want to buy some more in. Might be a good time to do that. Bitcoin here for the month of January is up only 5.51% so far. We're pretty much halfway through January as it is right now. We got we got a week and a half left to go roughly. We'll see where we end up at that point. Right now, we're at least in the green, so that's looking okay there. No trading on the Bitcoin ETFs here, so we don't have any data on that. We can take a look at it. Well, it came out to be on Friday, though. If I refresh this, January we had negative inflows, even though BlackRock had a little bit of a positive inflow. It wasn't enough to make any gains here against all the outflows that we saw from Fidelity, Bitwise, ARK Invest as well, and Grayscale at this point. All right. Only thing that I do have that's kind of good news here is, well, maybe good news for some of the mining companies here. Not great news for XAI, but XAI's, the EPA is coming down on them for using the gas turbines there without possibly having permits for it. So we'll see what that comes out. But here's what we got. So the ban on gas turbines for XAI provides a massive tailwind for IREN. Obviously, Cypher as well. I think others that are in this boat, which would be Riot, TeraWolf, Cleanspark, who else? Core. I mean, pretty much all these guys that are in this space right now. Elon Musk's XAI won't be able to use natural gas burning turbines to build out its future data centers like it did in Memphis following an EPA rule update this week. While Elon tried to hack the system by hauling gas turbines on trailers to Memphis and labeling them mobile engines to bypass the red tape, the EPA has officially closed that loophole. Now it's simple. If you want gigawatts, you either wait 3 to 5 years for a grid connection or go through the hell of permitting for stationary generation, which that obviously takes time there. So he's saying here, for IREN, Galaxy, and Cypher, this is a total godsend. The value of sites with ready-to-go green power is surging because quick workarounds have vanished. This might be why they saw such a strong rally yesterday, unlike Nibius, which was obviously last week, right? We didn't trade today, but it was from last week. So this is kind of very interesting there, and I've seen like some reports that IREN is in talks with XAI possibly. Don't know if that's true. I saw that pop up a couple of times during the day today on X. No validity to that right now. Basically a rumor. Not sure if that's going to play out, but maybe, right? We do know that Mike Alfred, he's obviously on the board there of IREN. He was trying to reach out to Elon Musk a while back. Maybe there's something happening for that. Maybe not. Time will only tell. But this obviously is great news for the companies that do have megawatts available now, like this year and next year as well. And a lot of these guys do have a lot of megawatts as well. So we'll see how this plays out going forward. It's going to be interesting to watch as well. Okay, so that's kind of the only good news story that we had here. The other good news story was New York Stock Exchange is going all digital, looks like. They're going to be trading 24/7 with tokens. So that's kind of interesting there. That came out today. That's, I think, a great thing for trading, for commodities, everything else. But they're going to be doing both systems at once. And then you get settlement, like instant settlement as well, which is freaking fantastic instead of having to wait plus 1 day or something like that to get your settlements done currently. All right, so that's good news there. Other than that, we're going to take a look at also EOS Energy. This was a request from one of you guys last week to take a look at them. I did take a look at them. This is going to be just kind of my quick thoughts on them. And the other one I still have to look at is New AI. NUAI is the ticker symbol there. We'll take a look at that one later on this week. But let's get into EOS here. So EOS is basically, they're calling themselves a gigawatt scale high density energy storage architecture, right? So that's what they're developing is their EOS Identis, I can't say that word, in density. And they have come up with these kind of cubes for battery storage and power storage that they are developing and actually building out. They're in the process of building out their automated assembly line for this, which I think is online now or just coming online recently. So that's kind of interesting news there, but they're a relatively new company here. So EOS is accelerating the shift to American energy independence with zinc-powered energy storage solutions. Safe, simple, durable, flexible, and available are commercially proven U.S. manufacturing battery technology overcomes the limitations of conventional lithium-ion in 3 to 12-hour intraday applications. It's how at EOS we're putting American ingenuity to work every day to create a positive future for everyone. So interesting company nonetheless here. They've been, if we look at their PowerPoint presentation as well, this is from their Q3 financial results there. They are signing some contracts and some nice big contracts as well. But here's what we can go over them. So commercial pipeline of 22.6 billion, representing 91 gigawatt hours there. Order backlog, they currently have 644.4 million, representing 2.5 gigawatt hours. Q3 revenue did increase nicely for them to 30.5 million, still on the smaller side of things for them. Total cash, 126.8 million. So their current cash or current assets and current liabilities is in good, healthy range there right now. They still have 1 gigawatt new orders post the earnings there report from MN8 Energy and Frontier Power. So they are working on getting more and more clients involved and signing deals there. Let's see here. Expanding U.S. manufacturing. So Marshalltown, Pennsylvania, 432,000 square foot with up to 8 gigawatt hours of capacity. Line 2 production expected mid-2026. Yeah, so they're working on that still. They have a Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania facility as well, 41,000 square feet within Pittsburgh Technology Hub, Dawn OS, software and analytics development there. So this is their kind of, what's the word I'm looking for there? How the whole system works, right? So you got generation, transmission, distribution, and use, and you can put basically their systems in place right after generation, and then right to end use as well. So you can put in between those two systems there. This all looks great for them. Like I said, they're a newer comer. They're just building out right now as it is. Let's see. This is just duration, time frames, improved operational performance here. Revenues have been increasing, so we talked about that, right? Revenues were small, 7.3 million, 10.5 million, 15.2, and now 30.5 million. Margins have been getting also better as they build out. Anytime you're a new company, you're building out, you're gonna have a lot of expenses to start up with, right? You got to buy the facilities, build the facilities, even build all the automation into it, right? All the assembly lines, all that stuff. That all takes capital. It takes a lot of money to do that. Let's see, some safety, quality, and costs on them. Let's see, what else do we have here? Commercial update, lead generation, like they said, 15.9 billion. Opportunity pipeline, 22.6 billion. Orders backlog, we talked about that already. Third quarter, all right, there's their third quarter revenues and things like that. Okay, so I wanted to get into their SEC filings really quick. So revenues, like I said, have been increasing nicely here, right? 38.5 million here in Q3. For 2024, it was only 854,000. So really, really nice jump in revenues, which is good. So proof of concept has been basically confirmed. This stuff is working. Cost of goods sold, that's still really high, right? 64 million compared to the 30 million in revenues. That's to be expected as they're ramping up production line, production hell, as Elon Musk calls it. Eventually, once they get more orders, more products out the door, their revenue should be higher than their cost of goods sold. And then hopefully that gets them to a much better position here. But that's going to take a couple years, I still think. I don't think they're going to be able to do that within this year, possibly. I think maybe within 2 years that is possible. This year might be a little tough for them to do that. But if they bring online that facility to manufacture these packs and get them out the door quickly, then maybe they can do it this year. Okay, so that's actually looking pretty good there. Shares outstanding, 271 million, not a big deal there. Obviously, quite a big loss there. They had $4.91 loss for the quarter, mainly driven by, was over here, change in fair value of warrants, change in fair value of derivatives as well to related parties. That was a big portion of that that brought them up that high as it is. And then remeasurement of preferred stock related party as well. So those two things really added up on there. But the things that we do know here, they're a newcomer, like I said. It's going to be a while. So there's a building out. They should be generating more revenue. So if you expect revenue to continue to improve for them, they should be valued higher at that point. We'll take a look at what they're valued at right now as it is. But here's some other notes that I took down. Let me see here. Let's see. I don't want to close the document. Doggone it. It's going to make me close the document? Possibly. Let me see if I can edit this. I can't. Okay. Pipeline. Okay, here's the pipeline. So they still have a backlog of, right now, as of September 30th, EOS had 77.2 million in remaining performance obligations, unfulfilled orders. They expect to recognize approximately 76% of this revenue over the next 12 months. Major commercial agreements also, Naval Base San Diego was an 8 million order for standalone battery energy. And then Frontier Power signed a memorandum of understanding for a 5 gigawatt hour energy storage framework agreement, marking entry into the United Kingdom market as well. So those are two good things there. They have, let me see here, strategic investment from Cerberus Capital of 210 million there, looks like, which is a delayed draw term loan. And they also have a loan from the Department of Energy as well for, I can't see this because I got to pop up on this right now. Sorry about that, but they have a loan through that as well. Production scaling, right? Their production scaling for the Z3 battery modules. That's happening there, and they're anticipating to get to about 8 gigawatt hours production by 2027. So the company's ramping up here, and it's done actually pretty good here as far as the stock is concerned when you look at it. And we'll take a look at it here. I believe I have it here down at the bottom. All the way, EOS, I do. Okay, so the stock's right now at 1745, right? What does that actually value them at? If we look at that, let's see your financials. That gives them currently a 5.66 billion, their market cap. So they are definitely being valued more on their future potential than anything else. The revenue is increasing, right, as they ramp up production and all that stuff. So where do I see them right now? I mean, this could be like a good long-term play if they play it out right. And they get the contracts, get the deals and everything else. But I would have to do a little bit more research on them. Probably have to do like a total deep dive on them. But just seeing what I'm seeing here, at least right now, from where they came and where they are right now, They're looking pretty good. Something like I said, if we get dips on those guys, excuse me, might not be a bad one to look into and possibly invest some into it for the longer term hold. Like I would say, probably a 3 to 5 year hold or something like that. See where it goes at that point. But the good thing with them is, well, we're seeing this not only with them, but we're also seeing it with Tesla. Tesla's building out those mega packs, right, for load balancing and for data centers as well, to where the load, because you need quick energy cycles for AI data centers to function properly. So you're seeing that from Tesla. You're also seeing this from them. Competition is good. If they can get part of the market there as well, I think it's gonna be good for them going forward too. So I would just say look into it and see where it goes. But it looks interesting to me, at least right now. All right, so there's that one. And we'll take a look at the other one later on this week for new AI as well. All right, next, wanted to get into the miners here. How did they do last week and the last 52 weeks? Well, they're still doing really, really good, all things considered. Considering where we were just a year ago on these things, we're doing really, really good. So for the miners here, how far are they up from their 52-week lows? We can see that on the chart above. And how far away are they from their 52-week highs? That's the bars down below that. And we can see here that IREN obviously is performing really, really well. It's up over 1,000%. Cypher's up over 900%. Terror's over 570% there. HUT's almost 500%. Bitfarms is up 338. Riot up 210%. CORZ 204. Hive 175. BTBT 131. Cleanspark 107%. Then we got Bitcoin being up only 28% from its 52-week low. Marathon's only 26. Kango's up only 25.9, and Strategy's only up 16%. What do we know about these guys here? They've been kind of late to get into the AI space. Marathon's not getting much love there. Kango, what do we know about them? Well, they're asset light, not a lot of infrastructure. They're talking about getting into AI as well, but being so asset light on infrastructure, that's kind of hurting them as well. And then Strategy, the Bitcoin treasury companies have not performed that well this year. Or I would say, yeah, probably the past year, because maybe even 2 years now, I think. Because I think MicroStrategy peaked in November of 2024. So we're going on a year and plus a little bit more than that as well. So everybody else is doing really good here, especially the ones that are getting into AI. IREN, Cypher, TeraWolf, HUT 8, right? Bitfarms, all those guys have been doing really, really, really well. And you can see that HUT 8 is only 5% away from its 52-week high here. IREN's 24%, Cypher's 26%, TeraWolf 18%, and the list goes on and on. As far as how did we do last week? Well, we actually did really good also. So compared to Bitcoin, at least, we did really good. BitTier was up 38% last week. IREN and Riot were up 26%, Cleanspark up 15%, Cypher up 13%, Hive up 12%, Marathon up 11%, Strategy and CORZ up 10%, TeraWolf up 6% along with Bitcoin there. Bitfarms up 5%, HUT 8 was actually down 1%, and Kango was down 5%. So everybody has outperformed here for the most part on Bitcoin for the past week. 4-week time frame, Bitcoin's up 9%. Pretty much everybody has outperformed here except for Kango being only up 1% and Strategy being up 9%. So Strategy is kind of following Bitcoin there, it looks like. But some of the miners here, again, BitTier's up 47%, IREN up 43% along with Riot, Cleanspark's up 23%, Cypher up 24%, Hive up 28%, Marathon up 18%, CORZ up 24%, TeraWolf up 18%, Bitfarms up 19%, HUT up 20%. All of these guys have been doing pretty good here over the last 4 weeks, which obviously we've seen here since the beginning of the year, more or less. And then from the 8 weeks time frame, we can see Bitcoin is actually up only 5%. So we have quite a few that have underperformed. Cleanspark's down 11%, Cypher's down 8%, Marathon down 4%, Strategy down 2%, TeraWolf down 11%, Bitfarms down 15%, and Kango down 6%. The ones that have outperformed are CORZ 12%, HUT 8 up 33%, BitTier up 18%, IREN up 21%, and Riot up 19%. And from the 12 weeks time frame, everything has not done well for us. Bitcoin's up down 13%. Everybody else, except for IREN, Riot, Cypher, and HUT 8 have outperformed, but everybody else beyond that has pretty much underperformed. Even CORZ and TeraWolf have underperformed Bitcoin there, or have done better than Bitcoin here, but everybody else has not done as great. So like what I'm seeing here, at least in the 4-week time frame and the 1-week time frame, where things are looking better. And if this continues for us, we should be in for a really, really good first half of the year with all of these guys. So looking forward to that. All right, next and last one here is miners market cap stats here. So this is updated as of basically this weekend here. So I've included everybody in here. However, not everybody reports their monthly revenues or monthly Bitcoin mine, things like that. So on some of these guys, we were actually using only the data that we have for the quarterly results on them. Those are the ones that include the little star here. And it should include the market cap or the stars there as well. But for these metrics here, I'm using their quarterly results. Everybody else that doesn't have the little star there is I'm using the last 3 quarters results plus the current quarter that we're in, which is estimated right now for them as well. Okay, so market caps. IREN, big dog here. 16.4 billion in revenue in market cap. We got Cypher at 7.4, Riot at 7.1 and a half there. TeraWolf at almost 5.8. CORZ almost 5.8 as well billion. Mara at 4.3 billion. Cleanspark at 3.4 billion. BitDeer at 3.3. Bitfarms at 1.7. Hive 822 million, and Kango 553 million there. Shares outstanding. You can see what we're dealing with here. So you can obviously divide the market cap by the shares and you get the stock price value at that point. Here is their 3-month revenue. So the ones that have a star on it, like I said, are the ones that we're using for end of Q3 results, basically, because we don't know what they're generating. So that includes TeraWolf, CORZ, Bitfarms, Cypher, and IREN, along with Mara. The rest, we're including their revenues here that are for this current quarter, okay? So it's not quite apples to apples because we don't have the data, unfortunately, but this is the only way we can do it. So you can see here, Mara, based on at least for Q3 results, was 242 million, so that's the highest there. IREN, 234 million as well, that's higher there. And then Cleanspark here, 182 for the quarter that we're in now. I'm guessing IREN and Mara will be lower because of, obviously, Bitcoin price coming back down here quite a bit in that quarter. So their revenue should be down as well. So we'll, I think Mara would still be higher than Cleanspark there, but IREN might be actually lower than Cleanspark at that point. And then you can see the list going down here. 12-month revenue, same thing for this. We're using the all of the quarterly results for the ones with the star, and then we're including the current quarter estimated revenue for these guys that don't have a star. So Cleanspark's looking like it's 883 million in revenue over the last 12 months. Mara, 787 there. Kango, 682, Cypher, 669, Riot, 577, Bitfarms, 381, IREN, 267 million. That doesn't seem right. Why is that showing me 267 for IREN? Where am I getting that data from? That doesn't look right. They should be higher than that. Miners, TeraWolf, CORZ, Bitfarms. Let me see here. Where's IREN? IREN, 267. Well, why am I getting only 267 for that one? It's pulling out of that. IREN there, shares, 12-month revenue, let me see here. Oh, it's pulling out of it CORZ. Why is it pulling out of CORZ? That should not be doing that. All right, let's get this fixed. CORZ Scientific, why is it? Okay, so we should possibly rename that to CORZ. Hold on, bear with me, because I was doing some updates. I didn't notice this. Okay, so let's do this. CORZ, star. We'll probably have to fix this for everybody. Let's see, who's this? This is Kango, so that's good. This is Hive, Mara. Oh, this is, let's see, Cleanspark here. Cleanspark, Mara. So that's Mara there. I apologize for that. BitDeer, that's Bitfarms. So Bitfarms. This one is BitDeer. BitDeer, that should have a star. No, that one doesn't have a star. Then we got Riot, which is good. We got CORZ, which is good. This is IREN. IREN and a star. This one here is Cypher. That gets a star as well because they don't report anymore. And then we got, who's this here? Monthly stats. This is for TeraWolf, so that's actually good. Okay, so things got messed up here for some reason. All right, let's see here. IREN, okay, that looks better. That does look much better there. Sort, ascending, okay. There we go. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, I believe this should be good here for the 3 months as well, but I'm going to double check it really quick as well. So that is pulling it from here, 3-month revenue. We got Kango, Hive, Mara, which is good, Cleanspark, which is good, BitDeer, which is good, Bitfarms as well, Riot, IREN, Cypher, CORZ, and TeraWolf. Okay, so that looks all good. Okay, everything else is good. So we made a mistake on that one. All right, so difference now. Mara, for the 12 months revenue, 883 million, followed by Cleanspark, 787 million, Kango, 682 million, IREN, 669 million, Riot, 577 million, BitDeer, 381 million, CORZ, 267, Bitfarms, 262, Hive, 252, Cypher, 238, and TeraWolf, 150 million, not including any revenues that they might or are getting for their AI center for some of these guys right now as it is. Or not even including that, it's going to be in the future there. So if we look at the 3-month revenue market cap multiple on these guys, you can see that TeraWolf is getting a huge premium there. 114 multiple on their revenues to market cap, but their revenues are all the way down here at 51, at least right now. So they're getting a huge premium on their future multiple that they will be getting from AI colocation deals. Right. Same thing for CORZ, 100.3 multiple there. They're only generated so far 58 million that we can tell. Cypher here, 93, 79 million for them. IREN, 70 multiple there. They're actually on the higher side of things, right? For the 3-month multiple, 234 million. That looks a little bit better there. Riot, 54 multiple. They're 132 million there. Bitfarms, 25 multiple, 69 million. Yeah, BitDeer at a 20 multiple. They are currently, where's BitDeer? 166 million. Cleanspark, 18.8 multiple. They're at 182 million there. That doesn't seem right to me there. Mara, 17.7 million. They're at 242 million. Hive is at 9.3 multiple with 88 million revenue. And Kango with 3.2 multiple. And they're at 173 million here. So as you can see, a lot of these guys that have AI deals or about to get AI deals are getting much higher valuation compared to these other companies as well, which is interesting, right? Which then tells you that if all things were equal and some of these other guys get deals like Bitfarms, Cleanspark, BitDeer as well, right? If those guys, Hive even, possibly even more at that point, that these guys have a much higher probability to go up higher in price than some of these guys that are way already having higher multiples, right? And you can see the same thing happening if we look at the 12-month revenues for these guys and the multiples that they're getting there. I mean, you got Cleanspark at only 4.3 multiple, yet the revenues here are at 780, right? Second best right now as it is, not accounting for any AI revenue that they might get, right? So if you go like just at an average of 20 multiple on these things for some of these guys, you can see, Cleanspark doing a 4x roughly to get to that, to be even with some of these guys like CORZ, IREN even, right? I'm not saying that they have to be above them. I'm saying if they at least get some kind of deals, you could see a 4x multiple possibly on that one. Mara, we were not sure if they're going to get any kind of AI deals. Not sure what they're working on there. Bitfarms could get like what is that going to be, a 7, so roughly a 3 multiple to where it gets valued equally to what their peers are at. BitDeer, you could see possibly like a 2.5 multiple. Riot, same thing, like I would say at least a 2 multiple, somewhere around there. So you can see that there is a lot of upside potential for a lot of these guys still here. And also for these guys as well. TeraWolf, Cypher, IREN, CORZ as well. If they get more deals going forward as well, they're going to probably pop up even more at that point. But that's all based on future revenues here for them, based on AI colocation and deals and things like that, which obviously makes sense. But some of these guys right now are still being punished for not having kind of any deals or being late to the game, whatever it might be, which might be a good opportunity to get into some of these players that are still far behind at that point, right? And you can see here the revenues as well down here. 12-month revenues, I probably should have swapped that out. This should have been actually, let's see. Yeah, that should have been swapped out, or at least the title should have been changed because this is 3-month revenue. But we did that up here anyway, so I'm not sure why I put it up here, but okay. It is what it is, but we can do it all. Let me delete this. This is not needed. All right, now delete that, because we have it up here. So I just duplicated my work for some reason. Getting old, I guess. That's the reason why. But again, like I said, right? Some of these guys are getting huge valuations, others are not. Possibility for a flippening happening there. Maybe not flippening, but at least catching up to some of these other valuations that we're seeing in the space right now, which is a good sign. If you want to get into some of these things, there's something that you might want to take a look at. All right. But that's it. We'll take a look at some whatever we have happening tomorrow as well. And but right now we'll just get into Q&A here. And if you want access to all these spreadsheets, I'll make it available to the Patreon members. Link for that is down in the description as always. And thank you for everyone there that supports what I do. Greatly appreciate it. And we also have a great Discord community as well. All right, that's it. There's my sales pitch. All right, let's get into Q&A and call it a day here. Let's see, we've been going on for about a half an hour as it is. I'm ranting and raving here. Let's see what you guys have to say. I always love hearing from you. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Jen Pal says, Trump always have to screw up the market. He's got to bring things down so they can buy more. Rob says, I just tuned in. What tariffs are these? Are we talking about now? So there's Trump's introducing as of February 1st, 10% tariffs on some European countries because he wants to buy Greenland, and he's kind of trying to force their hand into it, I guess, to negotiate on Greenland, I guess. That's the main reason. If they don't do anything, I think in, was it July 1st or June 1st, they go up to 25% by then, right? So we shall see. Orange Pond says, day 6 was not strong until Cleanspark hits an all-time high. May have started this too early. Starting to just get a little funky there, maybe. Take a shower. We'll get there eventually without you having to be on a shower strike there. John says, Taco, nothing will happen. That's in reference to President Trump there. Let's see. Daniel says, the only tariff that drastically affects the market is the one with China, which appears to be over. This one against the Europeans won't put much dent on the market. I agree with you there, Sadie. Thank you so much for the likes there. Let's see. Hey, Seb, good morning from UK. Good morning to you as well. Hope you had a great night. Any update on IREN's new AI deal, last week's rumors? Nothing. But there's a new rumor now going around that they are in talks with XAI. That's at least what I've been seeing here on X today. Don't know how much truth there is to it, but we'll see. Sauer says, Jim Powell, what are you talking about? Market keeps hitting new highs after new highs. Trump's market is booming. Market is booming, but we do get little dips here and there, which is, I guess, pretty good for buying opportunities. Sauer says, some of you are so emotional when the market goes red for a few days. Some are. I would agree with you there. People do panic when they see red, especially if you have a lot of money on the line there, which I can understand. Dan says, price target for Mara, if BTC hits 150,000, will it happen this year, or are they going to make us wait until 2027? I think 150,000 is doable this year. I mean, it wouldn't be that much of an increase from where the prior all-time high was, 126,000. So I think that's doable. I'm guessing somewhere between 150 and 180 for this year. That would be a kind of good range to get into. As far as Mara's price target at that point, I mean, it's roughly, what would that be? 55, 60% from where we are right now, roughly. I mean, Mara should at least do that. I would think that it should go up at least that much. It hasn't been a strong performer here the last 2 or 3 years, I would say, ever since the prior cycle. So I don't know. They're not being valued on their HODL that they have, which they have a lot of Bitcoin HODL. They're not being really valued on their operations. Yes, they have a lot of debt when it comes to the convertible notes and things like that. I think people are not happy with that. I think they're also not happy with the management's decision to pay themselves handsomely, right? Some of the compensation there is egregious, in my opinion. So I think they got a lot of dings against them right now, which rightfully so, possibly. Can they change things around? Sure. Do they need to change things around? Yeah, I think they do. I think they need to also focus a little bit more on just Bitcoin and AI in general. They've been kind of all over the place with, these two-phase immersion cooling systems, these powering the buildings in Europe or heating buildings in Europe, all these other things that they're trying to get into. The one thing I did like was them buying a wind farm to power their older generation machines. I thought that was a pretty good, smart move there. But other things that just kind of make me scratch my head going, why are you guys doing this stuff? But we'll see how they can do. So it's hard to tell, but I would think they would at least go up with what Bitcoin goes up at that point. Okay, let's see. So kind of talked about this. What's your outlook on Mara? Would you sell and buy something else? I mean, based on the news that we have right now and the performance that we've seen from it, I would probably lean towards that. I think there's better horses out there, and we've seen better horses right now, right? Cypher, even IREN, who else? Even Bitfarms, Cleanspark, Hut 8. I mean, all those guys have done much, much better than Mara has done. So I mean, that's going to be up to you. Not financial advice as always. Then it says Mara has the second largest holdings of Bitcoin. I wouldn't sell at this price personally, not financial advice. I mean, they do, but they're not being really valued for it. And the reason I think they're not being valued for it is the debt that's associated with it. And the other fact is that there's many more on-ramps to Bitcoin than in the past. In the past, you only had the coin exchanges, right? Coinbase, Binance, there's another one, Gemini as well. Others also. That was your on-ramp to Bitcoin. If you didn't want to go that route, you would go with the miners that had a hodl position, or you'd go with companies that have a hodl position like MicroStrategy as well. But now you have the ETFs. You have probably other vehicles as well to get onto Bitcoin. So I don't know if they will get that multiple like they did before for having a hodl. Especially, it's one thing if you have a hodl because you mined it at a much lower cost. But with them, they always had a higher cost to mine. They were asset light. Now they've actually changed it around in the past year or so. So that's actually a good thing that they did there. But the valuation of the Bitcoin, right? How much of a premium should they get for it? Bitcoin goes up, it should be probably just valued at fair value at that point, right? They shouldn't get any kind of MNAV multiple on it. At least I don't think so, because there's just so many more different on-ramps for it. They should use that for other things now, I think, to grow into AI and things like that. So I think that'd be a better way to do it, right? As Bitcoin price is going up, use those Bitcoins to then fund your growth going into AI and things like that. That's the way I would do it. All right, Bethany, question. Let's say you have $3,000 to spend tomorrow. Which stocks are you buying? Which stocks would I be buying? I'd still be buying probably the top guys there, which would be IREN, Cypher. You can look at Hut 8. I think Hut 8 is a little overvalued possibly. I think it's more being valued on their future potential and the context that they have there. That's just my personal opinion there. You can look at Bitfarms, Cleanspark as well, right? Those are the ones that I'd be looking at. Even Riot right now. Let's see. Michael says Trump is being a poop hole, that Germany is going to send troops to Greenland, that Trump needs to go, hurting all American life, that has investment, that Trump wanting to be king, that he shouldn't be president. I mean, that's your fair opinion, right? Everybody's got their fair opinion. I don't know, but I kind of understand what the deal is with Greenland, right, for security reasons, because of the ballistic missiles and things like that. Okay, so there's some validity to it, but there's ways to go about it. I mean, we've been working with Greenland and Denmark there for a long time. I mean, they've allowed us to build bases there. We could do that. We could do some revenue sharing on any kind of rare earth minerals that are there or something like that, right? There's ways you could do it, but he wants to buy it. He's going to try and buy it. I mean, we've been trying to buy Greenland for a while, I think, going back decades, right? I think it was it during the Second World War or something like that? We were trying to buy it at that point as well. So it goes back. So it's not something new that's been up or that's been presented to the American public. At least this new generation has. Okay, let's see. Rob says, all these rumors about deals with companies, whatever happened to Bitfarms making a deal with Amazon? Well, the rumor was there because of the person they hired on had worked at Amazon, right? So I think that was the reason why. Gary says, what number is your ticker on bottom reading? Is IREN down from IREN? I have to look at 5782 to 5241. Seems to be big difference in miners. Might be the pre-hours there, because I know IREN's down a little bit, like 3-4%. Isn't that Thursday's close? Might be. But that's pulling data from TradingView, right? So whatever TradingView is providing us with, that's the kind of data that we have there. Let me see if I can refresh that maybe. Can I refresh it? I can't because it's locked. Let's see if I unlock it. Can I do anything on it? I can't. Why not? That's not the one I need. I need this one, I think. Let me see here. Locked. It's still locked. Which one is it? It should be not that one. Ticker. Yeah, ticker's locked. They moved it down here. No wonder I can't see it. Let's see if we would do a refresh. Hopefully that's much better there. For the pricing, maybe that's getting refreshed there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see where things go. tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a brand new trading day. We'll see where the miners go. Right now they're in the red, at least pre-hours. And, right now we just got to wait until we get more news from them. Any kind of deals, any kind of co-location deals, any kind of growth in their own GPU stack. All of those things are going to obviously what's going to be pumping the price on these things. We've got obviously good news from, well, good news for us, bad news for XAI. The EPA is kind of knocking them down a little bit here. So we'll see. We'll see if anybody gets a deal here with XAI. Whether it's IREN, Cypher, Riot, Cleanspark, who knows. But the way that XAI wants to grow, they want to have gigawatt sites. And there's only a couple places that you can do that. One is obviously Riot, right now at least, IREN, and I think Cypher's got a gigawatt site as well, plus. So it's only a couple of them that have that kind of availability really quick there. All right. Let's immediately ask, the gap down will probably be filled pretty quick tomorrow. I would hope so too, but we'll see where things go at that point. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Let's see, we got one more coming in here. Charles, what are your thoughts on Jack Mallers 21 Capital, ticker XXI? Again, it's one of those treasury companies for Bitcoin. Where they're going to be doing that. They're going to be doing some other things as well. I think they're trying to differentiate themselves a little bit from the herd. But how much of a premium should you get on that? I'd have to look more into it. But I love the fact that they're buying it. It's great that all these companies are buying it. It takes it off the exchanges. They lock it up for a long period. And it's a good thing, as long as they don't sell, right? So it should make the price of Bitcoin go up on that one. But definitely love everything that Jack is doing there. Wish him all the best on that. All right, we'll call it a day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming in, as always. Love you all. Hope you guys have a great night. And I'll see you tomorrow. Until then,